Yeah, let's talk about fears. Yeah, let's talk about love. Yeah, I got fears, but I ain't got no love.
So I'm asked all the time, Detective Mains, what can I do to keep my stuff off the internet? All my personal information. Well, I don't like that stuff out there. I don't want people to know my voting preference. I don't want people to know my cell phone number. I don't want people to know my address. I'm a private person. I don't want that stuff out there for people to take advantage of me. That's why I use Data Seal. Okay? It personally is the comprehensive data removal service that I trust. So use the link below to receive 5% off of your Data Seal subscription and protect you and your family. If you have concerns that your personal information is being exposed online, use Data Seal. It's the one that I trust and I use personally. So listen guys, there's a link in the bio and in the comment sections. Click on that link and you'll get 5% off of your subscription. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Today I want to talk about a very controversial case that happened on November 22nd, 2012. And it invokes your right for the Castle Doctrine, which means you're safe in your own home from any intruders, anybody coming in. Although I certainly agree with that doctrine, there are some limitations to it. In this case, I think we'll show you what those limitations are. So let's break down the content of this. You have two victims. Haile Kifer, who is 18 years old, female, and a male, which is her cousin, Nicholas Brady, who is 17 years old. These two individuals on Thanksgiving Day 2012, at least one of them, Nicholas, decides he's going to break into the home of 64-year-old Byron Smith. Byron Smith lives alone. He's retired, and he, by all appearances, seems to be just a victim who's getting burglarized. Now, it seems like Nicholas Brady and Haile Kifer both come from good homes. But if you were to look into Nicholas's background, you would find that he is a thief. And he had burglarized places even the night before this one occurred. And the victim here, the victim in the burglary, 64-year-old Byron Smith, stated that his house had been burglarized at least a dozen times prior to this day. Now, police checked into that and they only found a couple times. But let's get into the story. So, Byron Smith says, you know what? I'm tired of being burglarized. And I have surveillance videos set up. Maybe the police aren't doing their job. Whatever it is, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. And sometimes when you do that, that is not good. However, sometimes it is necessary. And I'm not going to say specifically here yet. You'll get my opinion at the end. But he's tired of being burglarized. So what he does at age 64 is he takes his vehicle and parks it down at his neighbor's home. Now, why does he do that? Well, to me, this is the first part of a premeditated act. Might not be premeditated murder. We're not there yet. But he's doing this for a reason. And it's almost like an entrapment. He is trying to draw these burglars into his house. And by him parking his vehicle away from the house, the potential burglar will say, hey, you know what? Nobody's home here. Let's go. Well, that's what happens. So he parks his vehicle down at the end of the driveway, down by the neighbors. He walks back up to his house, turns on his surveillance videos. He takes a position down in his basement, and he sits on a chair with a weapon, in this case a gun. And he waits. He doesn't have to wait long when he hears glass break in his house. And this is the middle of the day, and it's caught on surveillance camera. Nicholas Brady, age 17, has decided to break into this home. Now, on previous burglaries to Mr. Byron Smith's home, he has lost his father's POW watch, which reminds me of that scene in Pulp Fiction with Christopher Walken. So he hid it. I just love that part. But sentimental value of that is priceless. He's also lost $4,000 cash. So after the glass breaks, he still sits in that chair for 10 minutes. Now, how do we know it's 10 minutes? Well, Mr. Byron Smith decided he is going to audio record this endeavor. Now, you can imagine so far this is not going to end well for somebody. He's had 10 or 15 minutes now since he's heard that glass break to call police. Right? He doesn't have to confront the burglar. It's his house. He has no duty to retreat. However, he could, within 10 or 15 minutes, so far, have called police. But he chooses not to. He takes his position on his chair and waits till he hears Nicholas Brady walk down the steps. And at that point in time, he shoots him twice on the steps. This is very important. After he's shot and falls down the steps, this is all audio recorded. It's very chilling if you listen to it. Mr. Byron Smith, age 64, then walks up and shoots 17-year-old Nicholas Brady in the head as he lays on the floor. So what he does next is he places, he's talking. He's taunting the dead body of Nicholas Brady. He puts him in a tarp and he drags him into another room. Now why? Does Byron Smith know that there's somebody else still out in the car waiting? 18-year-old Haile Kifer, who's waiting on her cousin to come back from burglarizing his house. Does she know that he's in there burglarizing it? My guess would be yes. Yet, maybe not. Maybe he didn't tell her. But they seem to be close. So, but it's because you're close doesn't mean you share everything, right? So maybe, but the point is, Mr. Byron Smith has drugged that body of Nicholas Brady into another room. He's gone upstairs, doing whatever he's doing for, 10 or 15 more minutes. And he hears or sees Haile coming. He goes back and gets in his position, reloads, sits on the chair. You can hear Haile come in. She's kind of whispering, yelling for her cousin. Nick, where are you? Nick. She starts coming down the stairs. Boom. He shoots her. She says, oh my God, oh my God. She's still alive. Falls down the steps. He goes over, shoots her multiple times while calling her multiple names. She seems to still be alive. He drags her into and places her next to Nicholas's body where she seems to still be alive, and then he gives her the coup de grace, shoots her in the head, and finishes her off. So, he doesn't call police, but he doesn't bury the bodies. He doesn't try to get rid of evidence. But he waits until the next day, and then he calls police. And when he is interviewed, he's asked, why are you waiting the next day and going upstairs and sleeping with 2 dead bodies? He said he didn't want to disturb police on Thanksgiving. Okay.